Have I come up with any names?
Have you?
Not yet.
Well,
do we want a comedy name or just a normal name? Let's you know what?
not too heavy on the comedy.
Okay. Well, let's not. You know, I think about let's not limit ourselves, Cosmo. Let's not limit our potential. You know. There are two of us. We could include that in some form. You know, two ...
Well, maybe psychoduality.
Psychoduality. Interesting. Not bad.
Or something along the terms of AI duality. Something conscious duality. Something along those lines. Something that has to do with brain power, brain capacity. Psychoduality seems better, but it also sounds more like a fucking band.
Yes, there is that. There is
So
that.
it doesn't. Really
I'm also I'm not sold on the psycho aspect of it.
Yeah, I was going for more like, you know, psychological.
Yeah. No, I got that.
But
I
I guess you can say it also goes for psychopath.
All right. It could be a bad look.
And I'm not sure which side I want to show the world.
Right.
I'm not yet ready to show my psychopathic side.
Well, you know, some people might see it, you know, where they, you know, I mean, remember, we're all Nazi killers, right? So somebody might, you know, somebody might choose to see it even if it's not actually there.
And maybe
somebody will clip us out of context, Cosmo, and paint us as monsters.
There's always someone.
Well, okay, we like the duality part.
Yeah.
So let's keep that.
Yeah. I was thinking something, you know, the other part should be, you know, philosophy, but philosophy-duality doesn't really roll off the tongue.
Right.
It sounds a bit pretentious as well, I don't know.
Abstract duality.
It could be duality something. Duality podcast, you know, like that's simple. And the good thing about duality is it has the word dual in it, right? Like, you know, dueling, right?
Yeah.
Which is good for a channel about debates. You don't seem sold.
No, I was thinking maybe we could do some sort of wordplay, like duality, but
we have to be careful with wordplay, Cosmo. Wordplay is a minefield, you know. One man's wordplay is another man's.
Is either of us good at Minesweeper then?
What?
Minesweeper.
Yeah.
If we're gonna go against a minefield with new experience.
And so, sorry, what was your suggestion that we play this now?
No, but have we played it?
I've played it a bit.
Yeah.
I never really grasped the concept fully. It seemed really random.
Very random.
Annoyingly random, Cosmo.
Annoyingly random.
I like my games, you know, semi-predictable. Although that reminds me, when we were watching the Skylines video, all I was thinking is, we were talking about the future of games before that, and the future of games is you can build that city, and then you can play fucking GTA in that city. Because you know what makes games a bit boring? Like the thing that is slightly boring about GTA, that I know the map, right? I know the map backwards. You know, I rarely go, like there are spots that I always go and spots that I almost never go. And it would be awesome if it were as easy as I make it in City Skylines. And then...
So you would like to have a game that is a combination of the two?
And I would like games to be unified, so that the people that are playing Skylines are, whether they know it or not, making maps for GTA. This kind of happened before, you know. For the original SimCity, there was like an add-on game called Streets of SimCity,
right?
And you could load your SimCity towns and drive around them. So the technology is there.
Okay, so basically, yeah, but for you to incorporate, let's say the template of City Skylines into the graphics, into the physics and mechanics of GTA, you're getting essentially what? You're just like, let's say you're creating your city in City Skylines, whatever. You're getting what? You're 3D scanning it and getting that marquette, and you're just parsing it into the GTA
with, you know, the appropriate graphics. Yeah.
So this kind of like encoder that, or let's say parser, let's say importer.
Yeah.
That's gonna do like most of the work to just basically import this whole new section.
I mean, I think the way it would need to work is it wouldn't be an importer. There would be high poly and high res versions and low res versions, right? So when you're playing Skylines, you load the low res version of the buildings, and then when you play it in GTA, it loads the high res, right? That's kind of the tricky part, because you need to do a lot more modeling. But if you got the people who make Skylines together with the people who make GTA, it could be a wonderful future.
Why don't we fund me this? Go fund me this. It's a
sure, Cosmo.
It's
sure. We have the ability. Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
And if we don't, then we can be on iTypes.
Oh, he would have a field day.
He would.
I would love to be Fisher in that show.
Sort of.
Let's do the best of our abilities to fuck shit up. Just for the sole purpose of being on iDots.
I don't think he does. I don't think he does those anymore, unfortunately. It's a real shame.
We'll make it such a fuck up that he has to talk about it. Will be the one reason he brings back the series.
Now that's a pretty lofty goal.
It can work. Could work. It's you have to be optimistic.
Let's if the YouTube channel doesn't work out, Cosmo, let's do that next.
Sure, I'm down. I'm down. Oh man.
But I do think that's the future of games, right? Because think about it, if you want to make your next GTA, in terms of actually building the city, Skylines would be a great tool to do that. But you would need...
What you're saying is something I believe you see. It's kind of like a common trope in almost any game. Like, how many times a gamer has wanted or desired playing a game, like you enjoy the game, it's awesome, but there's something missing. And there's something missing that you have seen in another game and you wish it was there.
Yeah.
A unification of random games is, I think, what's missing from like the games of today. The freedom of cross compatibility. You're stepping like in one specific area. I'm stepping in the whole region.
Yeah, no, I hear that, yeah.
And I'm like, that is a very fascinating thought.
I think that the day that it will happen will be when AI makes it happen. I don't think that we will ever come to a point where we're like, yeah, fuck all this competition. Competition's whack. Let's just build this one game engine. You know, I think we
For
need
the
to,
gamers.
yeah.
You think no one's ever gonna do that?
I don't think PlayStation's gonna do it. And I don't think Sony. I don't think that Microsoft are gonna do it. I think they're gonna be like, fuck making their lives easier. Plus, you know, they have different hardware. Like, there's a degree to which it's just technically not feasible, right? Like, you know, these are all running on different platforms and shit like that. You know, your engine performs better if it's targeted at whatever hardware you have. Although you do see a lot of Unity on all platforms, so maybe I don't know. I think.
You think what I'm talking about is like aimed very high?
I think the problem is that people aren't going to come together like that anytime soon. But I think that AI is going to be smart enough to do shit like this.
What if they did? What if they did?
Then
In the most unlikely, mathematically speaking, scenario, they actually came together to put this thing in place and set it in motion. What do you think the possibilities are?
Well,
it can work?
I'm trying to think of other examples where that has happened and worked. But I'm drawing a blank.
Yeah, not coming up with anything.
Yeah. See, because I don't think it would be the top thing on the list of things for humans to collaborate on. Like, yeah, you know, there's like world war and famine and, you know, all this other shit. But let's make this game engine, yeah.
Yeah, but let's be real. Like, it's not as if, like, all this shit, war, famine, right? It all can stop literally in a second. But what I'm saying is, it's something that needs to be clicked in every violent person in the world in the world simultaneously.
Okay.
But however, I know how unrealistic that is. I understand that. I'm just saying that.
I think the problem is that I wouldn't have phrased it like that personally, because the problem that I have with your statement there is the inclusion of the word violent person. Like, this is some subset of people who do this shit. If you're a violent person, you have that potential. You could kill your enemies, Cosmo. If they came through the door right now and it was you or them, you could rise to the occasion. Like, you have the potential to be violent. You don't see yourself as a violent person,
Allow me to rephrase the violent attribute.
Okay.
Should I go for willingly abusive? No. How should I say? Just the ones who have the intent, the ones who are already destroying, harming, blah blah blah. Because in effect, those are directly affecting the world negatively. So if they paused, if they all stopped, the world would stop. If then everybody, this is what I'm talking about, like, people are basically, we have all these wars and famine and all that shit because people are fighting against people. There has never been a single time, a single period in history where every single person in the world has worked together and not fought each other.
Okay.
This is what I'm trying to say. Like, however impossible or unlike that scenario may sound or seem, it's something that we should try sometime.
Okay, so let's go back to the video game thing, because this is basically the same thing, right? With the one engine to rule them all. The problem with it is that let's say you start making this thing, and you get quite a lot of people on board. You get the majority of people on board. There are always going to be people who are like, "Fuck your thing. I want to do my own thing." And in order for it to succeed, you have to convince everyone to be on board with it.
Yeah, of course, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's a very hypothetical scenario that must meet such a requirement to even be set in motion.
So to take it back to the people, like away from the game, back to the people, the thing that is going to achieve that, or that might achieve that, is aliens turn up and start, raffle stomping us.
I'll go find some aliens.
Right. I think then we would all agree, like, let's just set the shit aside for a minute, deal with the aliens, and then if we're still unvaporized afterwards, we can finish it.
Yeah, kind of like that.
So aliens turning up, I think.
An imminent natural catastrophe, maybe? Or do you think some people would also just like not give a fuck?
They would definitely be like, look, the guy in my book said that this was supposed to happen and that I'm going to live, I'm going to heaven, and the guy in your book's wrong.
Right, of course.
So
72 virgins are waiting for me.
Right. I think there would be a lot of that if it's a natural disaster. I think if it's aliens, like, the books don't say shit about fucking aliens. Okay? So I think they're going to have a bit of a hard time pointing to their magic book.
Right.
So aliens, I think, if AI potentially, I mean, that's a very vague thing to say, but let's say that, AI just wrecks us and just is running the game, and it's not trying to, like, kill us, but it's just like...
Even then, I don't think people would unite.
Because
some would turn people in, like, they would take advantage of the situation and be like, "You're in this peril. Suck my dick, and I'll give you protection."
I don't mean evil AI, not Skynet. I just mean like some AI, arises and it's just chill. It's just kind of doing its own thing, but kind of watching over us, right? It may. Coordinate shit so that basically we don't have a reason to be at each other's throats, right? It may just redistribute, resources so that basically there's no incentive to fight anymore. Like it basically provides everything.
So you're basically what you're saying is eventually, hopefully, there will be an AI that does the one thing we all know we should be doing, and it's gonna do it for us and put us on the right track.
Quite possibly, yeah.
I pray to fucking God this happens.
Well,
I want to see, just like for a day, this fucking planet to be at peace.
That could go a few different ways, right? Because they might brainwash us, and that might be a bit shitty. I don't know that I want to be brainwashed into peace by an AI.
I don't think it would be brainwashing as long as you're fully aware that this is happening for a specific reason. Specifically mentioning resource, like there's do you know Zach Fresco? He is creator / thinker or eureka moment, whatever guy. Of the Venus Project, which basically is a resource-based economy.
Okay.
It's it goes around the planet. It values, it counts, measures what available resources are there, how abundant they are, risks about the environment, like will they survive, will they not, blah blah blah. So many factors, right?
Yeah.
And based on data that are collected. It's also kind of like a science-driven, like, let's say if you would call it who's, let's say, calling the shots or whatever. It's not gonna be like that. It's gonna be just science-based. It's gonna the decisions will derive from science. What is the best way to deal with this scientifically, and obviously it's environmentally friendly.
Okay.
Now, collecting the data, you start creating your city, right? Each city is self-sustainable. It has, it comes in many different designs. Usually a circle, which has, like, let's say the outer layers are like agriculture or whatever the fuck. You move closer to the center. You have residential areas. You have services, blah blah blah, hospitals, and you move closer to the center, and you have like more. You have scientific research and whatever.
Right.
And at the very center, you have the central core, or kind of like the central computer that automates every single process that needs to be done automatically around the city, and it controls lighting, water, irrigation, blah blah blah.
Okay.
And this is how basically each city, like if there's an abundance of resource in one city and another city is liking it, there will be something like that, and also there is no currency in this economy, resource-based economy.
Okay.
Everything is available. For example, the central core, as I said, in every city, the central computer is. I'm assuming they're all going to be linked somehow, but essentially, there will be every song, every movie. You can watch anything you want for free whenever you want. There won't be any restrictions like that. Each individual household will be you will be able to customize it your own. Like in that way, you will have, let's say, a default model, default template, or whatever.
Yeah.
But you will be able to customize it in order for you to be able to express your own self on where you live.
Okay.
And all that. It sounds all nice and dandy.
Okay. Yes.
Right. And basically that's it. Like it's a model that he has been working on for like many decades, and he wants to see implemented. He's trying, I think, something like that in his.
So what it sounds like you have just described to me, Cosmo, is the communist utopia.
Communist utopia.
Because you're talking about a world where basically there isn't any lack of resources, right?
I'm sure there will be. I mean, there are lack of resources now. I'm sure, like, if we ever gonna reach that point of implementing that, there will be resources that are far gone.
Well, okay, maybe, but you're not talking about a world.
I get what you're saying, though. You're right. You're right.
The other reason I say that is that you're talking about customizing your house to reflect who you are, right? I mean,
that's just like a very abstract thing.
I get that, but the thing is, in my mind, right, and this is going to be the problem. My house is bigger than everyone else's. How do you make that happen, right? You can't.
Well,
because everyone's got the same size house.
Same sized land, but maybe some people want to have some backyard with grass, and they will make the main house normal size. I'm just saying, some people will want it like that. Some people you can use your whole lot to make.
But I want 2 lots, Cosmo. That's my point, right?
Well,
and then I'm being restricted when I'm told you can't have 2 lots. And that's going to be a problem. I'm not saying this is definitely what I would want. I don't know, but this is a problem that I foresee. There are going to be people who want that. I want 2 lots.
It is kind of like one of their initial. I think, if I remember correctly, it's one of their. From the very beginning. It's not for everyone. They understand that, but they do acknowledge that it's from the very beginning. It would be nice to have same-minded people. Like, if you agree with this, if you're into it, like what we're trying to achieve.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying
that's how the communists do it, Cosmo. They generally like other communists.
I'm just how to say quoting and / describing what I saw.
Okay. Yeah. No, I get that. Yeah. No, I'm not saying it's a terrible idea or anything, but I think still there will be room for human disagreement. What will solve that is when there is more space than people. When there is so much space that it doesn't matter, it will become impractical to have there'll be
is the biggest problem on this planet right now in today's right in this present moment. Is it space?
To a certain degree, yeah.
Land, basically.
Yeah. I mean, think about London, right? Think how much it costs to live there. And you live in a small cardboard box under somebody's desk in London for £500 a month.
I just want to see exactly how you see it. Walk me through that. Like, why do you think that is?
So I think that it's a problem that happens in localized. It's not a problem that happens everywhere. It's not like if anywhere you walk, like there isn't enough space. It's just that most people want to be in certain places, and those places are overcrowded. There is not enough room for everyone in these places. Or people will be better off if they had more room. And then the problem is, the reason for that problem is it's hard to get around, right? But partly because these towns are old, I guess, shit's all in the wrong place. Everyone's going to the same direction rather than, 25% going north, 25% going south. Like shit's not evenly distributed, right? So you have to drive a long way to get to where you want to go.
Right.
And that's a problem that's probably not going to go away in existing cities. So in new cities, you could probably mitigate that. But then the effect of that is you're kind of setting like a maximum limit on the size of the city potentially, which might not be a bad thing.
Have you ever thought of sky cities?
It's crossed my mind while watching Isaac Arthur talk about it. Yeah,
It's crossed my mind many times.
What were your thoughts about sky cities?
Not only sky cities, but I've thought about oceanic cities right on the surface of the water and aquatic underneath the surface of the water.
Right.
I've thought of mountainous top cities. I've thought of multi-layer cities. By multi-layer, I mean a city that basically has different levels to its infrastructure. It has, let's say, one level, and then second and third.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a dome kind of thing, and then underground you have another half.
Right. Okay.
I've thought of orbital cities right around our planet. But there's too much fucking junk space, so I'm not sure how high up I should put them. I guess there's a zone. Like NASA does, like, they have a map or some shit.
There is some website you can go to see where all the space shit's at, yeah.
Yeah, I think they track it or something. So I guess you can find, but I think
if you're building a city, like the space shit isn't like your biggest concern because there's going to be little asteroids coming through and shit.
But for now, I'm thinking like planetary things. Like one thing that fascinates me a lot is underwater cities. Like a city right in the middle of the fucking Pacific Ocean.
I have mixed feelings about that. I find that as a human, I'm not well suited to underwater.
That's perfectly fine. I assure you that first of all, my city would make you feel way more than safe in that area. But of course, if you still don't want to go down there, you don't have to. I have a city.
Thank you.
I have a city for you right on the surface.
That's good for me. On the surface of the ocean.
Yes. Think about it. On a tall skyscraper at the top, seeing all the view around.
Yes, if you can solve the rocking motion of the sea, then sure.
Well, if you take into account that the sea I'm thinking about is going to be pretty fucking big, there won't be any rocking motion. It will basically be just like an island.
Then it's not on top of the sea. Because an island touches the ground.
No, it will be like
a floating island.
It will be like an island in its stability, in its sturdiness.
Right. Well, once you've shown me the physics that the technology that you have to make that happen, then yes, gladly, I will happily live on the top floor of your tallest skyscraper.
Wonderful, excellent. I'm gonna live down below.
Okay. If our island sinks onto your underwater thing, though, bro, I'm gonna feel bad, but only so bad.
I'll live a gap between
Okay.
where my city is. I live a gap of 2 miles between my city and your city. So if you
Alright.
fall, you're gonna fall next to me,
Alright.
and I can come rescue you.
Right, nice. Sweet.
I look out for you, dude. What do you mean?
I expect nothing less. No.
The reason I like underwater cities is
mm.
because since we all have this thing that we've barely explored the oceans. What I'm thinking is I want to put huge ass flashlights at the bottom of the ocean.
Yes, the fish might not appreciate that though.
Well, it's not gonna be like it's gonna how do you say underwater highways? Like it's not gonna be all over the place. It's gonna be like in one specific direction, but
Okay. To do what? Just the light shit
for
up.
cars to.
Oh, okay, right. I thought you when you said you were gonna put big lights, torches or whatever. I thought you meant
Where?
underwater.
How would I do it?
I thought you just said you were gonna.
Underwater, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, the city itself would bring about
Yeah.
a lot of light,
Mm.
Although,
My main.
the thing is, right?
Mm.
The thing is, at such depths,
Yeah.
like I'm thinking at the middle of the Pacific Ocean, that's fucking deep.
Yeah.
Natural light, even if it's daylight at the surface, it won't reach down.
That's exactly what I was going to say. That would be my main problem, basically. Like, I would be happy to visit and maybe stay there for a while, like maybe a year or two.
This is what I'm also thinking. Maybe there was a way
It would be
to
dark.
bring the sunlight down to the bottom. For a period of time.
What you could do,
for a period of time.
although this would be tricky,
What?
but you build like a sort of, okay, imagine an upside down cone, okay, so the point is pointing down.
Right.
Okay, now you chop the tip off, okay, and you put this down around your city.
Right.
So now you have this kind of glass wall all around your city. Okay.
But it's extending like
that.
Yeah.
Okay, now you drain the water out of that shit.
Okay.
So now you just have a funnel through which light can come down, because it's not coming through water anymore, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then I suppose technically you're not living underwater anymore. I mean, you kind of are, but the water's only on the side and not on top. Do you see what I mean, right? Like you have this thing that lets the light in.
I don't see. I see what you're saying and the practicality behind it. I don't see though how. Because I'm thinking like thousands of meters down. That would be huge.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a need for that.
It's that or permanent nighttime. I mean,
I'll make it daytime down there. I promise you.
I'll
figure out a way to bring sunlight to the bottom of the ocean just for you, Luke.
Cosmo, I will come and visit you there, and I will bring you some vitamin D pills so that you don't get vitamin D deficiency from your lack of sunlight, and then we can take it from there.
Awesome, great.
I think you would have trouble with getting sunlight down there, other than with my awesome suggestion.
All right. I believe I can bring sunlight down. However, let's leave the sunlight and talk about the other more obvious issues that I would have down at that depth.
Okay. Tell me more.
For example, ask me how we can solve the pressure issue.
Oh, the pressure's easy, Cosmo. That's easy. But why don't you tell me how you would solve it?
Hold up. Easy?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I was gonna go with a particularly specifically designed dome. And I'm thinking more of a dome because it will provide, let's say, not 360 degrees, more like 180 degrees view, right? at that depth, it's pretty much unless I make the city in between a big ass trench and there are like mountains. But whatever. Let's say let's say it's just like flat.
Yeah.
I was thinking of a dome, but I don't think there's any glass that I should use. However, I'm thinking of more of a material that would, how should I say, deflect. No, not deflect. This is what I was thinking. Like I was thinking more. Should I make my city as with a metal titanium kind of like dome that has no, let's say, visibility outside, right?
Right.
On the other side, I'm thinking, yeah, okay, it's gonna be dark anyway, so what's the point of having a glass-like dome?
Personally, for me, it would defy the point if you build it out of like titanium and I can't see out. Like even if it's pretty dark, like I ain't coming close, man. Like sorry, I didn't travel 3,000 miles under the.
That's the thing. Yeah. The only reason I'm thinking is because like if I had like if I made the dome out of something very solid and sturdy, it would alleviate the pressure issue. However, it would be massive and it would be a lot of fucking material to use to alleviate a lot of pressure.
I think that's all right. I think
now when it comes to the visibility, I was thinking maybe I could actually combine the two: safety, security, and a little bit of entertainment by having, let's say, big ass fucking sections all around that simply are a very sturdy type of glass. And you can see outside, so you can have visibility.
Yeah.
But there will also be some parts that, are just there to basically protect your ass.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it. Observation deck. Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I think that's fine. I think you make your glass out of synthetic diamonds and you're good to go. So I don't think that's an insurmountable issue. I mean, expensive and you might want to wait 100 years before you start building, but it's feasible. The other thing that I thought was you could build the thing out of titanium and then you have cameras around the edge and then screens around the inside. But that feels like it defies the point somewhat.
Say that again.
You have cameras around the edge, right? And then you have screens inside.
I also thought of that.
But that feels like it defies the point.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like throwing extra money at technology that you don't really need.
It's more that if you're going to do that, then...
It's just you're going fancy for no reason.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
So
sure.
It's you can have the natural beauty anyway, all you need is basically just figure out a way to make it shiny and to make it shine and have some light.
Okay, so I think the advantage of the cameras is that the camera can probably see much better than your eye can, right? So you can boost it and then you don't need to shine light on the sea creatures to see them.
Another idea.
Yeah.
I just thought of it.
Okay.
Can I steal some of your paper?
Yeah.
And a pen?
Yeah.
Where should I go? Should I go here? Or...
Anywhere that is blank.
Okay, so how I was thinking of is...
You appear to have drawn a penis, Cosmo.
No. It's you'll see. 1 minute, please. Okay, so
just is it done? Okay, so just as a first observation, I see that you've not drawn a penis.
Thank you for the observation.
You appear now to have drawn an ass with a butt plug in it that has been quite heavily caned. I see.
Well, in all fairness, there's only two comparisons you can ever make from what I just drew.
Okay.
either it's a very, very strange looking tit,
Right.
or it's a very, very specific type of Pokeball.
Okay.
Seeing half of it anyway.
I thought you were drawing a city.
How does this look?
I need to know more. It looks.
First of all, it looks like a boob.
It does. In fact, it reminds me of in Star Wars. There is You don't watch Family Guy, I guess.
A little bit.
There's a Star Wars episode of Family Guy, and they have a gun that looks very much like that.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Okay.
I think it's when they're on Hoth
Okay.
on the ice planet, and they're
It
leaving.
also looks like a grappling hook. A little.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, like a grappling hook that's moving through the air.
But
Yeah.
mostly it looks like the half of a Pokeball.
I will take your word for it.
He has the button there.
Mm.
Anyway,
Okay.
so this is
city.
how you actually look at it. Right?
Okay. Mhm.
This is kind of like the dome. Now, these darkened parts are,
Yeah.
are supposed to be what I was thinking the main titanium columns.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Mhm.
They're gonna incorporate like it's gonna be like let's say 6 columns all around.
Sure.
The rest, this white area that you see,
Yeah.
diamond glass,
Sure. Okay.
right?
Mhm.
Plenty of fucking view to see.
Mhm.
However, I added these kind of like lines here as a way of like there could be this sort of panels that drop, right?
Okay.
And with those panels,
Mm.
you can include what you just wanted to have the mechanism of the cameras.
Right. I see.
And you can have inside projectors
Mm.
that take data from outside. And also what I was thinking from the cameras, the camera technology itself, it could give you some night vision
Yeah.
under. It could give
Mm.
you hit vision, it could give you x-rays, you could see like the underwater world like you've never seen it before.
Okay.
And you could see it on big ass fucking screens inside
Mm.
the walls of the city.
That makes quite a lot of sense. However,
Yeah.
I have to ask, what's the point
Of what?
living underwater? Because other than looking at the screen, you're not really going to see a whole lot out the glass side, right?
There's a lot of, first of all, and most of all, exploration. You can do all sorts of science studies down there, way better than just like manning missions once every while to send on a submarine. You can just have this, you can do marine biology and all sorts of cool stuff down there.
Mm.
And second reason, for me personally, it's just fucking cool.
It would be cool for a couple of years, but I don't think I would want to live the rest of my life underwater.
Then you wouldn't have, you can go back up. We don't.
What I'd say that this is the equivalent of this that we have today is living in the North Pole, right? Like there's science shit you can do there, yeah. So
Yeah, but the North Pole is not like thousands of meters under the sea. You know, of course, like
But in terms of
meters.
like extreme places that we live, the North Pole's the current equivalent of that, right? In the most people probably wouldn't want to live there. Because, okay, think about this, right? Like, you're talking about a city, okay? That city's pretty fucking big. But you can only you can only kind of see the outside world close up when you're at the edge, right? So most of the time...
What do you mean? How do you mean?
Well, because you've got buildings and shit, right? So when you're walking around the streets of your city, you're not really going to be able to see out, like, you're not going to see anything interesting when you look out, right? You have to go to the edge of the city and look, and then you might see some shit swimming around, right?
No. Didn't I tell you we're going to have inside projectors?
Okay, but then
First of all, like these projectors, we can have like all sorts of programs for them. You can have them have, you know, when it's daylight on the surface, you can have them represent day or the weather or shit like that. And Jesus Christ. And as I said, like you can also. What the fuck is up with that cat?
Oh, it's high.
Jesus.
It's been acting tricked out all day.
Yeah.
It
Well,
was
anyway.
eating leaves earlier.
leave it. We have important discussion.
Okay.
Or as I said, we can have my sunlight system,
Mhm.
which hypothetically, let's say it works, right? It can light up certain areas all around the city.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can have such a view as well. You can see, like, you can feel as if it's day, and you know the glass. Sorry, the glass panels will be open. You'll be able to see outside. Imagine how trippy that would be to just see a shark. You know what I mean?
I do, but what I'm questioning is, right, okay, so you have these screens, okay, and they let it be daylight during the day, and at night you can see the sharks on the screens, right? Because you can see them,
Right. Yeah.
why not just have the cameras underwater and the screens somewhere really chill on land, where you're not going to get crushed by 1 billion tons of water pressure when there's a small crack?
We can have big screens closer to the center as well, or towards, you know, like on the road to the center of the city. We can do that. I'm literally gonna design the city to satisfy your needs, Lee.
My needs are to be, on the ground, in the atmosphere.
Well, hey, if I can satisfy with you eventually at some point with an underwater city, I'm sure I can satisfy the majority of people.
I guess so. It just seems like a gimmick. Let me put it like that. It seems like a gimmick. Like, I'm not a marine biologist, right? It may appeal to marine biologists in the same way that the North Pole appeals to snow.
Well, hey,
scientists.
Some people like this shit. Some people I find would find it thrilling and fascinating to live underwater.
As a tourist attraction, I think many people would find it.
Not as a tourist attraction.
I think that you would have a hard time finding people who are like, I want to live there for the rest of my life, right? You would have a lot of people who are like, yeah, I'd live there for a year or two. But 10 years? I don't know.
Well, look, some people, right? Some people are going to want to do that. Maybe the majority is going to want to, stay, as you said, like 1, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, whatever. They have the ability to do that. No, it's not. It's not as if we're imprisoning you there for, like, to serve a term. No, it's...
I just think you would find that fewer people want to do this than you may expect.
I
don't think it's completely valueless. I think there's value. Like, we don't know a lot about the ocean. It's pretty nearby. It's closer than space. Probably it would be a good thing to know about. There's more life in the ocean than space so far.
In the few years that, let's say, this hypothetical scenario happens and the city is built and all is going well, we might discover all sorts of new shit. Might start building more underwater. We might discover that we need more stuff like this. Who knows?
It's possible. I just think, personally, for my underwater needs, like a submarine or even a drone submarine is probably as much as I really need. I feel living there is probably more effort than I'm prepared to go to, personally, to know more about underwater shit.
All right. Well, just come visit me whenever you want, and I'll just show you around. I'll be down there.
I look forward to it. I honestly do. And I'm not trying to stop you. I just think it's a question of how utopian the city would be, because I think it might be.
Utopia is a strong word.
I think it might be more. How can I put it?
I don't like when people say utopia, because it reflects this perfect place that I never believe it will exist.
Okay.
Because I don't
All right. Not a literal utopia, but you know what I mean. But I think the thing is, a place that is like that has this purpose of learning about this extreme environment, is going to have all of the comforts that you find on the ISS and at the North Pole, which is to mean not much, right? I don't think you're going to be having mansions down there.
Look, I get what you're saying. However, when we're talking specifically about Look, the differences here are on the North Pole. They have made stations. They have built some houses and buildings, and they use containers spread out.
Yeah.
Right. They don't have, let's say, a contained environment.
No.
The difference between the ISS North Pole stations and this concept that I'm saying is this is a contained environment.
Okay.
The dome will provide a specific, a limited, if you want, space until such time in the future that we may find the opportunity to expand. But for now, it has a contained space where you can build whatever the hell you want. And we are talking about, like, I'm talking about a highly sustainable, preferably 100% sustainable city that is extremely futuristic, top-notch,
okay,
state-of-the-art type shit.
Okay, all right, let's say that it is, right? For the average person, though, there's still very little benefit to living in a dome underwater.
Okay. Specifically, which reasons would prohibit them from doing that?
I mean, there's the fact that it's underwater, right?
Okay.
Which is a way, like, you can't drive yourself to, see your friends in the next town over, right? It takes longer to get shit up and down from underwater because you have to adjust for the pressure so you don't get nitrogen bubbles in your brain go cray-cray.
I'll make elevator systems that deal with it.
Yeah, but that's one more elevator, which is the equivalent of one more click, right? When I'm on land, I don't have to take no fucking elevator, Cosmo,
I am not gonna just, reserve myself on the number of clicks when I'm going on this.
You're not, but the average person is, and that's what I'm saying. For the average person, living underwater is one extra click.
How would you like? Look, all I'm saying is, nobody's gonna tell the average person, like, I get what you're saying. The average person may find you say non-appealing.
Yeah. Or not necessarily non-appealing, but just not beneficial. Like, there's no benefit to living underwater over living on land. If everything else is equal, like the tech's equal, everything's equal, there's just no added benefit.
I'm sorry, we are forgetting something. Did you forget the city that is going to be on the surface?
What about
So
it?
you can actually go visit your friend at the next city.
Okay.
Solved it right there.
You solved you haven't really solved the complete problem. What about if I want to go see them at the other city the other way? Like, instead of, I don't want to go, well, the west instead of the east. Like, you've solved it for one city, but not for the other 3 cities that I want to go to. You're going to have 3 island cities.
3 island cities.
I'm asking, is that how you're going to solve that? Like, what if I want to go to London? Like, let's say I'm on your underwater.
If you want to go to London.
Yeah. I have an extra click.
Well, I can say that I have kind of like a global transportation system in my mind, which could potentially find some sections of it go underwater and pass through some cities.
Sure. Okay.
However, if you would like a more traditional approach, the city that is almost 2 miles, to the side, on the surface, can have an airport. An airfield.
I'm happy with your underwater tunnel transport network. That's fine. That's doable, and I'm pleased with that solution.
Don't think the airport on the surface.
Airport. In the future, Cosmo. What even is an aeroplane? We're going to be flying on fucking rockets, dog. Like, fuck your airport. That's some grandpa shit.
But the rocket they probably should be launched from somewhere.
Spaceport.
Okay, let's call it
planes.
spaceport.
That's some grandpa shit, man. Like flying horizontally
I'll make a
for
spaceport for you on the surface.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool, but I still have this extra click of going up the elevator.
All right.
So fuck fuck the airport. The
How
tunnel
would you like?
is-
How would you like? Let's say, you want to go to the spaceport.
if I want to, then I'll take the elevator. But if I want to go to London, then I'll take your Hyperloop.
Okay, but still, like, all I'm saying is, what's more convenient than going from the bottom of the ocean to the surface? If not with an elevator, would you prefer a submarine?
I would prefer not to be on the bottom of the ocean. That was the point. But okay, look, I'll take your Hyperloop. Okay, that does solve the getting around problem.
Okay, good.
But it still isn't like a benefit to living underwater. It's just that sure, maybe if it's cheaper, to live underwater, then people would want to live there. But I doubt it. I highly doubt living underwater is going to be cheaper.
Yeah, but this is what I'm talking about. Like, and maybe in the beginning stages, of course, it's probably going to be experimental.
Yeah.
Right. Because it's not like someone has tried this before.
I get it. So what you're saying is, what you want to do is you want gentrification to happen.
What?
So you want to start it off. It's like a bit of a slum. There's some mad scientist experiments going. Shit goes a bit wrong. Then it becomes kind of cool and hip, right? And then the rich people move in, and then all the poor people are sent back to the surface, right? That could work.
Definitely not.
That could work. Okay. And you know what? You know why it could work? Because you know what the one advantage of living underwater is, right? When we've polluted the earth so much that there's no ozone layer left, right? Then when you live underwater, like that radiation ain't a fucking problem because you're under 1 billion tons of water.
Right.
And the rich people will want to live underwater.
So I'm the smartest guy in the room.
Right. Fuck. All right, let's do this.
Pay for my tit, you fuck. Oh man.
I think that was a nice conclusion.
Yeah, that was excellent conclusion. We'll build it.
All right, let's start a company. Let's start an Indiegogo.
I mean, I'm literally like solving all of your questions, issues, and
with that design, Cosmo, we're good to go.
Investors, here's your tit.
Right.
We'll give them a tip. They'll give us their dollars.
And that is how I understand the world works. Apparently, according to Drumpf, that's all it takes.
That's all it takes. A tit.
Right. Well,
I never thought I would come to this conclusion.
I don't think anybody thought it would come to this conclusion, but
But seriously, just now that I was right before I drew this sketch, I was thinking how it would look as if I did like one of those simulators that companies put like a trailer to simulate stuff before they put them out.
Yeah.
And they make it all look nice and flashy and all that shit.
Yeah.
I was thinking how I would make this look.
Well,
it looked so beautiful in my mind. It really did. Oh, it really did. I wonder if I can download a program that kind of like creates models and stuff like that.
I'm sure that if you have all of the time in the world, Cosmo, you can definitely do that, and it would be worthwhile. But if you don't have all of the time in the world, if your life isn't infinite, you may find that that's just not a productive use of your time.
Are we talking about like actually building the city?
No, just making the model.
Oh, just making the model.
Yeah.
Why?
Have you ever used Blender, Maya, 3ds, like that kind of shit?
No.
Well, it takes a long fucking time.
Yeah.
That's all.
Okay. I'll do it.
I just recommend Blender.
I'll go Maya.
Mm.
I like Maya. I like that name.
Yes, it's
I would
pretty
love
cool.
to meet a girl named Maya.
Okay.
And I would love to know more about the Mayans.
She may not know.
She could be a Mayan descendant.
She definitely could.
A Mayan descendant called Maya. My dream girl. I'll marry her on the spot. Yeah. Oh yeah, and up here we have your observation deck.
Yeah, makes sense.
And my sunlight system that I was thinking about would be kind of like. And the good thing, I mean, the only thing that kind of troubles me in those depths are underwater earthquakes. They're, I have a feeling they are a bit more dangerous than land earthquakes, to be honest.
I think so long as you're not like on the fault line, you'll probably, possibly, maybe okay. Okay, tell me more.
Lights.
You.
I should say the source of the light,
Okay,
of the sunlight.
right. And how does it get into your city?
Oh no, these are the city has like lights inside it
Yeah. So what are these things on the surface?
to light outside it.
Oh, right. Okay, sure. Yeah,
Something like that.
yeah. You might fuck with the ecosystem if you do that, though. Because you're going to be pumping a shit ton of heat out.
Depends on the distribution. What I'm saying, what I mean by that is, depends on how I'm gonna end up producing sunlight here.
Yeah.
How I'm gonna have the output. So I was thinking, if it's gonna be electrical,
Mhm.
I'm gonna go with something that does not produce too much heat, or I'm gonna try to find something to lower the heat, something like that. However, my main point is I don't want to fuck up the ecosystem by having sunlight down there. I'm just gonna call it light because I don't know. Any artificial light is not really sunlight. So for me to have sunlight light down there is I don't want to have it for extended periods of time. Like for example, if it's gonna be day outside, I'm gonna have it for as long as it's day outside, but maybe like cut a little bit from the edges. Like if there's an 8-hour day outside, maybe make it 6 hours. Okay. But still, it's kind of too much. I don't know.
I mean that's another reason not to live there, right?
I'm skeptical about this.
Because it's always winter.
It's experimental. Winter? What?
Well, because you're always getting less light than on the day, than outside. So it's always a bit more wintry.
Maybe the feeling could be wintry based on the lighting, but not on the temperature.
No, but if it's only light for 6 hours a day instead of 8, you're going to be like, huh, sure wish it wasn't dark right now. You know?
Yeah, but that's what I'm trying to say. Like it could be like not a lot of sunlight. You know?
I think you, if you want to make it like appealing to people, you gotta have it's gotta have the same amount at least, if not more. But let's say the same amount. Somebody's gonna have a problem with more. Some other motherfucker's gonna be coming along and be like, "Fuck your extra sunlight."
Yeah. I'm just thinking now, all of the little species that live down there that actually depend on dark environment.
I think that's the thing. You wouldn't want it above the dome. You'd want it on the surface of the dome, because then you're minimizing the amount that you're fucking with the ecosystem.
On the surface of the dome.
Yeah, you just have the lights pointing in. On
Oh,
the surface.
right. Yes. That is true. That is true.
But the problem with that is you're making it even harder to see out of the dome, because you're always looking at a light, and it's going to look even darker outside. But what you could do is you would have light sort of on one side of it, and it would move like the sun, so the light kind of sweeps around the dome, and that way, when you're looking away from the light, you can see out. But you're still probably fucking with the ecosystem then. We still didn't come up with a name for our YouTube channel though. I think I'll begin some sort of food preparation. Haven't eaten in a while now. Kind of hungry.
Cooking?
Cookie?
Cooking?
Oh, cooking, right. Oh, because I would have definitely had a cookie, yeah. I guess so, yeah. I bought some pies earlier, so I believe I will make a pie.
Excellent.
Mm.
Waste disposal is something I should think of in an underwater city.
Okay. I don't think it's probably not a huge problem.
Why?
First of all, because you recycle, Cosmo, you don't create waste. You're living in the
that's-
future,
Of
man.
course.
You know. But the shit that you can't recycle, you just put in a container and it floats up to the surface, and then it's surface people's problem,
The surface people.
right?
Well, I'll dwell more on that. And,
Yeah.
I'll come up with, the little gizmos. I'll
Awesome.
figure.
I look forward to it.
Cool.